If you want to adjust your workspace settings, you can do that by going to the settings, then from here go down to workspace, and then from here you can configure your workspace. Firstly, here you can change the workspace name, currency, and system time zone. By default, when the owner sets a time zone, this time zone will be applied to all the members. This means that regardless of the member's location, they'll be working with this default time zone. So for example, I can go ahead and choose a time zone. Now once I click save, every member will be using this time zone. Now if you want to set a distinct time zone for each member, the first thing you should do is delete this time zone. To do that, you should go ahead and press the X button. Now once you've removed the system time zone, the system will be using UTC. Now for your members to be able to set their own time zones, they'll need to go to Profile Settings, and then here in the Profile section, they can put their own time zone. Now whenever you look at screenshots, reports, or other details, so for example if I go down to Monitoring, then Screenshots, here at the top you'll be able to view what time zone you're viewing the data in. Firstly, we have the member's time zone, so for example it's showing my time zone. Then we have the system settings, but since the system settings doesn't have a time zone, it'll be using UTC. And lastly, we can choose to view the time zone in the owner's time zone. After the time zone, you can select the workspace time duration format, so for example hours and minutes format, column format, or decimal hours format. Then you can also choose the workspace clock format, so either 12 or 24 hour, as well as upload a company logo for branded reports. Now whenever you share reports, your branded logo will appear at the top. And finally at the bottom here you can delete your workspace. Once you click delete my workspace, you'll need to fill out a form. Once submitted, we'll contact you to inform you that all the data will be permanently deleted. From here you can restrict project viewers to access user device information. This includes information like IP address and OS. Lastly, we have security. In the security section, you can enforce two-factor authentication for workspace members. However, to enable this, the owner must set up two-factor authentication for themselves first. Then we have enforce minimum password length. So from here, you can choose the minimal amount of character numbers. So for example, I'll set it to 13. Then you can also enforce members to reset passwords periodically. And here you can choose the reset interval. So for example, I'll set it to 120 days. Lastly, if you have the premium plan, you can enable additional restrictions for HIPAA. When enabled, all future screenshots will be blurred, and active window titles will no longer be tracked to protect sensitive data.